Many in the audience writing to me over the weekend about a genuinely disturbing new poll, which shows Biden losing to everyone in the Republican primary in a hypothetical November general election. Some predicting I would ignore the poll. Why would I do that? It's never something I do. Let's discuss the poll. CBS or ABC News article, rather. Trump tops his opponents while Biden hits a new low in approval ahead of Iowa caucus. This was from over the weekend before yesterday's caucus. The numbers are problematic. The numbers are absolutely problematic. The 2024 primary season begins with Trump ahead of his Republican opponents in key measures, while Joe Biden's job approval rating at a new low for any president in the last 15 years. This is an ABC News Ipsos poll. When you are looking at the data, you find that 72% of Republican-aligned adults would be satisfied with Trump. Doesn't mean they're going to vote for him, but would be satisfied. That's the highest of any of the candidates. And considerably fewer Democrats are satisfied with Biden. Only 57% of Democrats and Democratic-leaning independents are satisfied or would be satisfied with Joe Biden as the party's nominee. This is not particularly good information for Joe Biden, but maybe just as concerning, we have a YouGov CBS News poll in which Biden is losing to Nikki Haley by a brutal 8, losing to DeSanctimonious by 3, and losing to Trump by 2 in a general election hypothetical poll. If we look at other recent polls, you have Biden, Trump even in a YouGov Economist poll. Hilariously, a good poll for Biden, given its typical rightward lean, is the Rasmussen Reports poll, where he's beating Haley, except he's losing to DeSantis and losing to Trump by a huge margin. And then in the latest Ipsos Reuters poll, in a head-to-head matchup, Biden and Trump are tied. And in a three-way race, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Trump is ahead by 1 point. These are very bad numbers for President Joe Biden. And there is nothing, I don't know when to interject this. I wanted to mention this today, and there's no perfect time, but I think now is as good a time as any. After my live coverage last night of the Iowa caucus where Trump won, I got a bunch of emails from people saying, sorry, David, Trump is going to win, MAGA 2024, this sort of thing, relating to me personally. This has nothing to do with me, and it's really important to understand. I have almost zero influence over this election. I don't want to say zero, like I have a show, and I know that there are some people who called in and said, hey, you know what? I was going to vote third party, but I'm going to vote Biden because I understand the risk. Or I was going to stay home and I'm going to go vote Biden because I understand the risk. You're not hurting. If Trump wins, I'm not really the person who gets hurt, right? I mean, I live in a blue state, and a lot of the crazy stuff that President Trump would do will affect me way less living in a blue state. My financial situation is fine. I'm completely stable financially. And unless Trump tries to come take my money, I'm going to be fine, right? You're not really getting one over on me if Trump wins. It's not for my benefit that I want Joe Biden to win. It's for the benefit of the country. I think it would be better for the country if Biden wins. So the people who write to me and go, David, have you seen these polls? Your guy's going to lose. Ha, ha, ha. This isn't about me. I'm not the one who wields the influence, and I'm not the one who's going to be overwhelmingly affected here. It's going to be a disaster for what this country is supposedly founded on. The people writing to me will suffer at least as much, if not more than I will. So this isn't a personal thing. Now, putting all of that out of the way, I don't know if and when the time to panic arrives. With some of these polls in which Biden is losing, there's 10, 12, 15% of the electorate that hasn't yet made up their mind. That alone could determine the outcome of the election, and it wouldn't yet be reflected in the polling. Is it simply too early You know, in September, it was too early for the polls to mean anything. We're now halfway through January. The polls start to have meaning here. Now, I still am of the mindset that if you zoom out and you look at the economy, presidents tend to get reelected when the economy looks this way. But the right is doing a very good job of propagandizing voters into thinking the economy isn't good. And it is absolutely the case. I'm saying it now, and I've been saying it. Trump could be president again. Trump could win again. It is not a guarantee in any way that Joe Biden wins this thing. We need to be taking the polling increasingly seriously as we get closer. Now, once Trump is officially the nominee, which I believe is going to happen, and once Biden is officially the nominee, which I believe is going to happen, and once Trump's criminal trials start, we have to see how the polling shifts and changes. But it is absolutely beyond reproach to say the polling doesn't look good for Biden. We can find reasons and excuses to say, well, here's one reason why it's not yet reflective of what's going to happen, so on and so forth. But this is the time of year when the polling starts to reflect the likely reality in November. We should all be scared, but it's not about me. I have no personal desire to, quote, be right. I haven't predicted that no matter what Joe Biden wins this thing. I am generally of the mindset that if the economy remains good, he should be reelected by historical standards. But this is not an election the likes of which we have ever seen.